Hey, hope you're doing absolutely amazing. My name is Stella, and in this video, I'm going to give you a full breakdown on how to land 3 to 10K a month clients with your social media profile on autopilot with a simple email course funnel. Now, this funnel system is the exact system that helped Chase land 12 clients for his LinkedIn growth service within 14 days of launching this funnel. So if you haven't seen it, it's the LinkedIn 7-figure organic LinkedIn playbook. So if you're curious, then definitely go check it out. It's socialgrowthcourse.com. Now first, who am I? Because I'm just a random girl appearing on your screen here. So allow me to introduce myself. So yes, I'm Stella, as I mentioned, and I am a girl from New Zealand. You could probably tell already by the accent. And if you don't know where New Zealand is, it is kind of near Australia, about a couple of hours away from that, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. So we're like hours away from a lot of the world, which can be frustrating sometimes with time zones. But anyway, these are some amazing photos that I've taken. That's me on a little hike in New Zealand. This is in the South Island. That's Mount Cook. And there's also, this is Lake Tekapo, so beautiful blue water. It's so blue. And then this is me in Barcelona, so it's nothing to do with New Zealand. But I love traveling. I love adventures. I did a 2-month trip around Europe in 2023, which is so much fun. But anyway, let's move on. Next slide. So essentially, just a little bit of backstory. I'll keep this really short because I hate when people talk so much about their backstory and I just want to get straight into the value. But essentially, I have run a short form content agency and I still run for about 2.5 years, about 2 years. And essentially, I moved into building email courses or helping people build email courses. I run a marketing agency that does so. And we basically came up with this idea. I came across this idea because we took one of our clients here, Joe Nucci. He's a therapist, a psychotherapist, basically from pretty much 0 followers, 18 followers, all the way to 166,000 followers over on Instagram. Plus he has, I think, over 30 or 40K on TikTok and across other platforms as well. And that took us just under a year to do. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we all have all this traffic and these views, but how do we actually turn these views into sales, into clients? Because that's a lot of the time what clients come to us when they wanted us to help them with their social media strategy, help them create content and create short form content. And so that's how I came across the email course funnel. How do we capture people's emails? How do we convert a viewer into a paying client? And so that's just a tiny bit of backstory for you. So what we're going to cover in this video, I'm going to cover what an email course is and why you need one. And I truly believe that every single business needs one, no matter what business it is, even if it's not a service business or an agency. And secondly, the difference between a lead magnet and an email course, because there is a big difference, and I'm a little bit biased, but an email course is a lot better. And thirdly, the benefits of an email course. And then fourth, how to create your own email course step by step, and lastly, how to actually book sales meetings from an email course and how you could use it to book sales meetings. So actually, before I go into that, I just want to premise as well, I do want to keep this fast-paced for you. I want to cut the fluff. I want to get straight to the point. So yeah, just a heads up. So you should watch this video if you are creating organic content, even if you only have a few thousand followers. You don't need to. I know Chase has, hundreds of thousands of followers on LinkedIn, but you do not need that many followers to actually see results from an email course funnel. And I'll show you an example of myself, because I've been able to book calls and I only have like 700 followers over on LinkedIn, right? And I've been able to capture people's emails, so it is possible. Secondly, if you have a lead magnet and you never land clients from it, right? If you don't have an email list yet, and if you don't have a way to turn your traffic into booked book calls or sales. I should say book calls, not book called. All right. So essentially, what is an email course? You're probably wondering, and how does it work? So this is an example of one here. And so essentially, this is how it works. I'm trying to go to the next slide. So essentially, a lot of people's social media profiles, or even not even organic traffic, just any traffic they're generating, they don't have a process to turn a viewer from a client and funnel it into their offer or get someone to book a call. A lot of people will just have the book a cool link in their bio or something along those lines, or just have a link to their website. And it's not an effective way to turn viewers into clients. And so obviously there's a ton of lost revenue there that you could be generating if you had an effective way. And so essentially, this is what the email course allows you to do. You're able to send someone to a landing page, capture their email, and then get them to sign up for a 5-day email course. And essentially this email course, the goal of it is to solve your ideal client's biggest pain point or help them unlock their biggest dream outcome. And you're going to give away a ton of value to them. And you send this value over a series of 5 emails. They're anywhere from 800 to 1,000 words long. So they're really digestible. And then after they go through those 5 emails over the series of 5 days, you're sending them a series of 3 emails, and we call this the FOMO pitch sequence, which allows you to pitch people on booking a call with you, right? And then of course you have minimal leads lost. So as I showed you before, this is an example of the educational email course. This is the landing page. This is our one. So you can see here we've got our headline and then our opt-in, and then we have what the sequence looks like. So you can see we're sending that immediately, and then after 1 day, and then next day, and the next day, and they're getting the 5 emails. And this is kind of what the sequence looks like, and the email automations on the back end there. So as I mentioned before, you do not need a lot of followers for this to work. I only have 705 LinkedIn followers. I think I have about 200, 300 followers on Twitter. I started posting consistently only within the last couple of weeks because I really want to take my organic content seriously. And I have 122 total email subscribers to my educational email course thus far, as recording this of March, late March right now. So you really don't need a lot of followers for this to work. And I've been able to land about 4 inbound leads from this. So that's about a 3% conversion rate, and book calls with people, which is really awesome. So let's move on here. So what is the difference between an email course and a lead magnet, and why is an educational email course better? So a potential prospect might download your lead magnet, but in reality your PDF is likely to be skimmed one time, and then after they put away the document, they'll likely never read it again unless they're actually reminded to, right? Even if you think you have the most valuable information in the entire world, like the cure to cancer, right? You know what I mean? So you also cannot track whether people opt into your lead magnet or not, or engage with your document, or whether they're, so you can't tell whether they're a cold lead, they're not ready to buy your paid offer, or whether they are and they're a little bit more of a warmer lead. And so essentially the goal is to actually be able to track who's opting into, who's a warm or cold lead, and you could do that through educational email courses. The benefits of one compared to a lead magnet is, number one, you skyrocket your lead magnet engagement because you're meeting people where they are. Most likely if you're an agency or a service provider, you're probably providing services to a CEO or a founder or busy people like marketing directors. And so to actually reach these people, you have to meet them where they are, which is in their inbox, already replying to clients, team members, etc. Secondly, you train people to open your emails because they're actually valuable. And 3, you can track and follow up with engaged prospects. So you can actually see how often someone opens and clicks your emails. And number 4, you can personalize your lead magnet content and your pitch through segmentation and dynamic variables, a little bit more advanced, but it's just something to keep in mind. That's really cool. Number 5, you can make your info more accessible to consume. This is huge. So you're essentially making it so much more accessible and digestible as well. It only takes about 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how long your email is, for someone to read the entire thing. So someone is more likely to read the entire thing, right? All you have to do, if it's a busy CEO or someone you're trying to get attention from, you just have to capture their attention within that first couple of lines in your email, and then they're off to the races and they're going to read the rest of your email, right? It's only going to take a couple of minutes, and everyone has a couple of minutes to read an email if it's valuable. 6, you remind people that they opt in. So with a lead magnet, people will open it, download it, will forget that they opted into it, and so you're reminding them, and then that also ties into you staying top of mind, so that they're reminded that you actually exist. So how do you actually create your own educational email course step by step? There are 4 main steps to this. You have to get clear on your avatar, choose your topic, choose the type of educational email course, create an outline, and write your educational email course. So step 0, you have to actually get clear on your avatar. So you want to make sure that the email course that you create actually aligns with the services you're providing so that you can actually attract the right person. Because there's nothing worse than, for example, if you sell dog cleaning services, I know it's a random example, but your email course is on how to clean your cat. It's going to be hard to sell your dog cleaning services because you're attracting people who want to get their cat cleaned, right? So it's the same thing. I know it sounds really silly, but a lot of people don't have alignment between their services and the people that they're trying to attract. So this is why this is really important. So you can ask yourself, what problems does your ICP have? What are their limiting beliefs? What outcomes do they desire? And what tools or platforms do they want to learn more about? So you can ask yourself those questions to get really clear on, what kind of email course you might want to create. So then you have to choose your topic. So what is this email course going to be about? And so the easiest way to come up with this is really just think about what is you really don't have to overcomplicate it. It's just, what is the biggest problem or pain point that your ideal customer faces? And how can you present them a solution to that? Or what is the ideal dream outcome? And you don't have to make this up from scratch. You can literally just think about, what is the pain point or service that you provide? So for example, for me, my service that I provide is I want to help people land 3 to 10K a month clients from their social media profile. That's the dream outcome, right? Because they can't convert a viewer into a client. And so I'm literally just going to create an email course on exactly that, right? You don't have to make it up from scratch. Just literally create it on what your service you're providing already is. And so a really helpful framework I like to think about is ask yourself, what will you specifically talk about? Who is it specifically for? And so what are the outcomes that you're promising to the reader? And again, I want to emphasize that all of the steps that I'm going to talk about here, step 0 to step 4 here on how to create your email course, I cover really in depth inside my educational email course, which I will direct you towards at the end. So if you're a little bit still not totally clear on each of these steps or want more detail or more information or have follow-up questions, then definitely go check that out. But anyway, let's move through this. So step 2, you want to choose your type of educational email course. There are a couple of different types, 5 main types, which is the crash course, step-by-step, problems and benefits, biggest mistakes, or easy templates. So these are the types of educational email courses that you create. So you'd want to choose just one type. So for example, for my educational email course, let me go all the way back. When I showed you before, my one is a crash course. So I'm giving you basically everything you need to know to land 3 to 10K a month clients with your educational email course. And then with Chase's email course, this is I would say it's a step-by-step guide, because we're giving you a step-by-step playbook on how to grow your LinkedIn, right? So that's an example there. Let's move forward here. So step 3 is you want to create an outline. So once you've actually chosen the type of educational email course you want to create, what the topic is, you actually want to create an outline. So what does this mean? Essentially, just figure out what are the 5 main points you're going to cover over your 5 emails. So we typically like to do a 5 email educational email course. You could do a 7 email, you could do a 20 email educational email course. We find that 5 emails is the most optimal. And so essentially, the idea of creating an outline is that it takes all of the thinking out of the writing, so that you don't have to stare at a blank page and you can focus on actually writing. So for example, if you were writing a educational email course on how to grow your LinkedIn, like we did for Chase, then all you have to do is ask yourself, what are the 5 main and most important steps, if it was a step-by-step educational email course, what are the 5 steps, the most important 5 steps someone would need to take to grow their LinkedIn following? There's always going to be more that comes to mind because, as the experts, we have so many different ideas that we might want to convey and so many different steps, but try and just basically boil it down to the 5 most important. So yeah. All right, so kind of continued. Here is what an outline might look like and how you could structure it. So here's an example of a headline and what an outline might look like. So, busy 8-figure entrepreneurs. So we're calling out the ideal person we're trying to attract. Here's how to come up with 30 video ideas in 10 minutes. You should definitely delete for 8-figure entrepreneurs. You don't need that because we already said that. So that you never have to stare at a blank page or feel overwhelmed ever again. I copied and pasted this from one of my drafts, so that's why it's it doesn't flow. So essentially, we've got busy 8-figure entrepreneurs. Here's how to come up with 30 video ideas in 10 minutes so that you never have to stare at a blank page or feel overwhelmed ever again. So this is a crash course, and so essentially, you can see what an outline might look like. So you can have Day 0, just going to be a introduction email. Day 1, we're going to talk about what are the 3 most important things someone will need to know when coming up with content ideas. Day 2, what are the 3 mistakes people make, etc. And so it's literally just a general outline of what we're going to cover. Then it's time to actually write your email course. So it's really great to keep in mind that each email should be structured like a blog post. That means you want to use headers, subheaders, bulleted lists, so it's really easy to read. And each email should be around 800 to 1,000 words, which is roughly the length of an average blog post. It's also important to keep in mind that word count isn't a great determinant of value. So this isn't a hard and fast rule. If one of your emails is 1,000 words or 1,500 words, that's fine. Just don't inflate the word count just for the sake of it. So the easiest way to write your educational email course is to expand the main points into subpoints. So you'll remember here that you created an outline for your email course here. And next, you want to actually expand each of these points so it actually turns into a piece of writing. And the easiest way to do this is you can expand your ideas in 10 magical ways. My mentors, Dickie Bush and Nicholas Cole, if you're familiar with them, have taught me these 10 magical ways, and it's been really, really awesome. So I wanted to give credit to them there. So you could literally expand an idea in any of these 10 ways: tips, stats, steps, lessons, benefits, reasons, mistakes, examples, questions, personal stories, and it's really mind-blowing when you see how this works. So here's an example of the outline I showed you before and how I expanded it using the magical ways. So you can see day 1 was the most important things you need to know about coming up with ideas. And you can see lesson 1 was creating systems, and I expanded it by saying learn how to build and implement systems, streamline tasks and save time, reduce stress through automation. And you can see how I'm just creating subpoints underneath them to expand each idea. And you can see here as well 3 mistakes: mistake 1, mistake 2, mistake 3, and then the subpoints underneath it. So we're just basically further expanding our outline pretty much. So you can see, you can pause on this if you want to. I'll move my face cam out of the way so you can read it if you would like to, but I of course won't read through all of this. So again, I also want to emphasize I am going pretty fast through this, idea of writing your educational email course. I cover it a lot more in depth in my educational email course, which I'll direct you towards at the end, so that if you really want to take this seriously and build your own educational email course, there's a lot more in-depth instructions inside there and some more specific examples that will help you out. So how do you actually book sales meetings from the email course? Because I guess that's the most important part, right? So there's 3 main methods that you can use to book sales meetings from the email course. There is a couple of others, but these are the main ones. So number 1, the PS method, so soft selling people and pitching. Number 2, the 3-day FOMO sequence. And lastly, the evergreen email list, or adding people to your evergreen email list. So I'll break down each one here. The PS method. So this is about soft selling leads. So at the bottom of each of your emails in your educational email course, you can add a PS. This is one of my favorite ways to pitch people on your services. You can think of it like a whisper. You're not hard selling them on anything. You're just saying at the very end, hey, psst, by the way, if you're experiencing insert problem that you solve, I can help. Here's an example and template you can use. P.S. If you're reading this email and thinking, wow, this is really valuable stuff, I wish I had someone to help me implement this stuff so I don't have to spend time implementing it, I can help. We specialize in crafting blog posts, social media content, and email newsletters tailored to your niche. Click here to schedule a quick 30-minute chat or reply to this email with what you're looking for, and we can see if we're a good fit to help. So this approach subtly communicates your services to the reader without being salesy, pushy, or annoying. And of course, don't forget to customize this PS to your niche and services. This is just an example, and this also isn't applicable to me as well. But yeah, just an example for you. So next, you can use the 3-day FOMO sequence. So we talked about this at the start, where we're sending people 5 emails, and then we send them to a series of 3 emails. And so I'll explain what that is here. So FOMO, if you're not sure, is short for fear of missing out. So after your recipients complete your 5-day educational email course, they'll receive 3 additional emails from you to encourage them to book a time on your calendar to talk or purchase, depending on what your sales process looks like. But if you're a service provider, that probably looks like booking a call with you to chat and for you to understand if they're a good fit for your services and pitch them. Right, so keep in mind that you can use this FOMO pitch in addition to the PS method, or you could not use the PS method and only the FOMO pitch. Again, it's up to you. So the PS method is best used inside your 5 value emails, and you can soft sell people, or you don't have to use it at all. It's up to you, as I said. So just ensure that you provide a ton of value for free and you respect your reader's time, and you will be as good as gold. So what should actually be inside the 3 FOMO emails? So email 1, this is the typical structure that we use for a client, is a recap. So what have they learned over the past 5 days, and remind them of all the value that you just gave them. And then present the next step or the next way that you can help them. And keep in mind, this doesn't have to be a book or call. It's all about building your value ladder, which Russell Brunson talks about in all of his books, which is you want to slowly increase the commitment or what you're giving people, right, to slowly get them to purchase more. And so you could do this by providing an ebook, like a small purchasable ebook, $50, $100, a digital product you might have. Or if you don't have any of that and you want to keep it stupid simple, which is what I like to do most of the time, which is literally just pitch them on booking a call with you, right? Number 2, email, is the hard sell. So this is where you're laying all your cards on the table and you're pitching them on your services. Here you want to try and speak in your ICP's language. So use terms and phrases that are familiar to them and dig into their pain points. So you might share a story or a case study of how you helped the client or results that you have in the past, destroy their doubts and show the benefits of working with you. And then email 3 is basically creating urgency and scarcity to get people to take action. So from the second email here, from the hard sell, people might still be on the fence and not book a call. So it's your job in this last email to push them over the line to take action and book that call or take that action. And you can easily do this by creating scarcity and urgency. And one way I personally like to do this, to create ethical scarcity and urgency, is literally just ask yourself, what is the maximum number of clients operationally that I can handle? So for us, for example, with the educational email course, we can only right now take on about 4 to 5 educational email course clients until obviously we need to hire to help us expand our capacity. And so what we do in our FOMO pitch sequence for this last email is say, hey, we already have booked up 3 or 4 of our slots this month, and we can only take on 1 more person. So if you want to be that person, and while I still have time on my calendar open, book a call before slots run out, right? So that's an idea of how you can do that with booking a call. Now, keep in mind as well, some clients, we've even done 4 or 5 FOMO emails, or sales emails as I like to call them, because these 3 emails sometimes might not be enough to push someone over the line. So that's also just something to mention. I also, in my email course, and I know, I'm sorry I keep mentioning my email course, I just don't want to make this video too long for you, and I want to respect your time. That's why, but inside our educational email course, which I'll link you to, we provide specific examples and templates of each of these FOMO emails that you can pretty much copy and paste and fill in. So if you are struggling, want some more ideas, then definitely check that out. The next way is the evergreen email list. So another way you can book sales calls is literally after they go through your entire educational email course, as well as your sales emails, just add them to your email list and continually send them weekly or bi-weekly email newsletters. So you can continue providing value to them, because a lot of people might not book a call after going through your email course, and that's fine. They might not be ready. They might need further nurturing, further trust building with you. And so that's when you can send them more valuable emails and send them email newsletters. It's also up to you. You do not have to write an email newsletter. You don't have to do anything with anyone's emails after the email course. It's totally fine. The main thing is that you're capturing people's emails, and at any time you have access to this email list, and maybe down the line you might think, wow, I want to start an email newsletter now, and that's fine, and you have all these emails sitting here for you, right? Because imagine you don't start an email newsletter, but you have this email course running and you're adding people to your email list, and then suddenly a year later you're like, I want to start an email newsletter now. Because you've had this email course running, you might have 1,000, 10,000 people on your email list just sitting there. Imagine how many sales and how many primed prospects are literally sitting on that list and just waiting for you to email them and saying, hey, do you have this problem? We can help, right? It's just super exciting, and there's so much valuable stuff that you can do with that list. There's so much value in capturing people's emails. So essentially, just remember that you own this traffic of this educational email course. So a newsletter is a great way to continue staying top of mind, building trust, etc. So essentially, a quick recap of what we just covered is what is an email course and why you need one, the difference between a lead magnet and an email course, the benefits of an email course, how to create your own email course step by step, and how to book sales meetings from the email course. So what we didn't cover in this email that you might still have questions about is how to actually launch your email course. So how to create a landing page for your email course, how to send the emails to the software. So if you are curious, we use card.co to build the landing page, because I know I get questions about this, so I'll answer them here. And to send the emails and set up the email automations, we currently use ConvertKit. With our clients, we typically just integrate with whatever email marketing software they typically have. So Beehive, Klaviyo, ConvertKit, Go High Level, etc. But I highly recommend, if you don't have any software, then you use Card and ConvertKit. We also didn't cover how to drive traffic to your EEC. So for our clients, we also provide the launch strategy on LinkedIn and the most effective ways to make sure they're consistently driving traffic to this email course. We also didn't cover specific examples or templates of emails you could write for the FOMO sequence, as I mentioned, and other bonus course content that will help you create your own email course. So as I mentioned here, if you go to createyoureec.com, you can sign up for our email course and you will get basically all your questions answered and any of this other bonus content that we didn't cover. Again, I didn't want to cover it all in here because I wanted to respect your time and basically just give you the most important things you need to know. And if you want to dive into this further and this really excites you, then you can check that out if you would like to. Also, here are some other ways that I can help you. So if you are listening to this entire thing and going, I do not want to sign up for your email course because I don't have time to go through it. I'm super busy. I just want someone to build this for me and I don't have time. Then we can definitely help with that. So we specialize in building email course funnels for service providers to help them take their traffic, whether it's paid ads, whether it's organic content, and turn that into more sales and booked calls every single month and rapidly grow the email newsletter. So if you want us to build your email course for you, then let's chat and you can book a call on my Calendly link here. Or if for some reason you aren't able to get access to this link, then you can follow me on LinkedIn. Here, it's literally just Stella Blomfield, and you can shoot me a DM and you can ask me any other questions that you might have. And again, you can sign up for our email course there. So that pretty much is a recap of everything. I hope you got a ton of value, maybe some ideas, maybe some inspiration of how this could be of value to you. And yeah, thanks so much for watching.